Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to Liberty Times, the U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, announced today that American forces yesterday fired a missile at the M-Bapes Valiant Star, a Gambian-flagged cargo ship attempting to sail to Iran. The vessel was reportedly heading to an Iranian port on the Gulf of Oman, contravening U.S. blockade measures against Iranian ports. After failing to respond to over 20 warnings, a Hellfire missile was launched by a U.S. military aircraft, striking the ship's engine room and causing it to lose power, halting its journey to Iran. The statement did not mention any casualties among the crew. CENTCOM stated that during the ceasefire with Iran, U.S. forces have disabled 5 merchant vessels and redirected 116 others as part of their robust enforcement of blockade measures. The U.S. is currently enforcing a blockade of Iranian ports, while Iran has effectively blocked maritime traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial global oil and gas choke point. Negotiations aimed at a long-term resolution to the conflict and restoration of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz have not yet reached a final consensus. The European Commission announced on Friday, May 29th, that its trade and investment relationship with China is unsustainable and pledged to implement stronger countermeasures. This comes as Western governments seek to reverse the trend of outsourcing to China, which has led to a significant loss of domestic industrial technology and production centers. Data from the Epoch Times indicates that the EU's goods trade deficit with China expanded from €312 billion in 2024 to €360 billion last year, with further widening observed in the first quarter of 2026. Ahead of the EU Leaders Summit on June 18 and 19, the Commission is preparing proposals, which may include forcing EU companies to diversify supply chains or introducing new trade mechanisms to restrict China's access to the EU market in sectors like chemicals, metals, and clean energy technologies. French-led governments advocate for protective actions, while export-heavy nations like Germany, despite growing concerns over Chinese dumping, advise caution due to market access fears. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and her Chief of Staff are reportedly pushing for a tougher stance against Beijing. China's foreign ministry has criticized the EU's use of trade data and threatened strong countermeasures against new EU policies like Buy European or technology sovereignty initiatives. DW reports that protesters in Tyrol, Austria, have temporarily shut down the Brenner motorway, a vital Alpine transit route connecting Austria and Italy. Locals initiated the demonstrations, citing that the overwhelming traffic on this route is out of control and severely diminishes their quality of life. The Brenner Pass is recognized as one of Europe's busiest Alpine thoroughfares, accommodating over 14 million vehicles annually. In response to the blockade, authorities have advised motorists to steer clear of the pass and to refrain from non-essential travel. The protest highlights growing concerns among residents about the environmental and social impacts of heavy transit traffic in the sensitive Alpine region. According to Tsingtao, Orbit Robotics, a spin-off from ETH Zurich, has developed Helios, a 4-armed robot specifically designed for the zero-gravity environment of space stations. Recognizing that legs are impractical in space, Helios forgoes a traditional humanoid design, utilizing its 4 robotic arms for all movement and operational tasks. 2 arms can grasp internal structures for stabilization, while the other 2 handle cargo, operate tools, and move equipment, preventing the robot from drifting when applying force. Helios features a tendon-driven system with motors concentrated in its shoulders, transmitting power to joints via cables and pulleys, reducing arm end weight while maintaining flexibility. Its elbows incorporate rolling contact joints for smooth, precise control. Orbit Robotics states that Helios is intended to assist astronauts with repetitive tasks like organizing materials, moving equipment, and routine maintenance, thereby allowing human crews to dedicate more time to critical scientific research. The development team also anticipates expanding Helios's applications to satellite maintenance, orbital facility upkeep, and space construction in the future, positioning it as a key auxiliary tool for next-generation space infrastructure. According to the Epoch Times, U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth addressed American troops aboard the USS Boxer amphibious assault ship in Singapore on Friday, stating the military is prepared for potential action against Iran. Hegseth, who was in Singapore for the Shangri-La Dialogue, participated in morning physical training with the troops before delivering his remarks. He conveyed confidence in their readiness, telling them, "I know you are ready, and that gives me confidence. This gives the president confidence. It should give the American people confidence as well." Hegseth suggested Iran has a choice: negotiate a nuclear deal with President Trump or face military consequences from the U.S. forces. His comments follow President Trump's statements on Thursday, where the president asserted the U.S. holds overwhelming leverage in negotiations with Iran, which he claimed is very much seeking an agreement. Trump warned that if a satisfactory deal is not reached, military action might be resumed, noting that Iran's military capabilities have been severely diminished. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent echoed this sentiment, cautioning that if a peaceful resolution is deemed impossible by Trump, military action will return to the negotiating table. Sources told Fox News that a memorandum of understanding for a 60-day ceasefire extension and nuclear talks has been reached between U.S. and Iranian negotiators, pending Trump's final approval. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.